It's Nichi. Today is August 6th, 2023 here in Pacifica, California. 12 miles south of San Francisco. 5364 Fahrenheit. That's how Pacifica's summer is going to be. It looks like the metal Medaka today is NEMOPHILA. The track is Life. Man, I don't know. I just stumbled across this track. All Japanese girl band. It's pretty awesome. Yoke mid style. I'm at Breaking Bad. Let me just take a real quick sip. The best beer of the day. I just got back from Next. Whoa, what a long day. It was. Whew. Yeah, but still the best beer of the day is the beer that I'm having with you, all you Medaka heads. This product right here, so a lot of times when I have Harikos in a tub, or basically anything with still water, is that over time mosquitoes will basically lay their larvae. And when you have medakas, they'll eat it. Perfect food and all that stuff. Oh yeah, there's reflection. Ronnie James Dio style. But when you have Hariko, they will overtake a little tub. And they will outgrow the Hariko. What is a Hariko? Hariko is basically the newborn fry of Medaka. They call it the Hariko because they're like the needle tip. Hari is needle in Japanese. So they're just like a little needle in a haystack. And when you have mosquitoes, when they lay larvae, it totally overtakes the little puddle that you have. And at times they will consume the Medaka in one way or one form or the other. Let me zoom out. All right. So this product over here I've been using for the past like 3 years. And it's safe, in my opinion. It doesn't do anything to them. It doesn't harm them. I just crush this and I just throw them in the tub. You'll see it's basically this stuff right here. And as you can see, you don't see any larvae. All right. Trust me on this. And it's been pretty awesome. I'll leave a link to this down below, but everything I ate is either from Japan or Daiso or Amazon per se. Talking about Daiso, my favorite store. Somebody was asking me about this product right here. A lot of people think it's a challenge to keep Medaka during the winter because it gets so cold that during the winter you really don't have to do anything. They just sleep, basically. They don't hibernate, they just chillax. They don't move, they don't need to, they don't use energy, so you don't need to feed them. They get all the nutrients from whatever they could find, from the phytonutrients from what they can find in the water. But depending on where you live in the United States or in the world, the sun is their best friend, but it could be their enemy, where when the water temperature rises too high and they're basically boiled to death. Not only that, but their water composition changes. So this product right here is from Daiso as well. It's just something that you can put on top cover them from direct sunlight, and this super reduces the amount of heat that goes directly into the water, raising the temperature. So again, the challenging part about keeping medakas outdoors is actually not the winter, but it's during the summer when the wild water starts boiling, and when you need something like this to cover. When you do use something like this to cover, you don't want to just lay it flat like this, because there's no aeration, right? So the best way to do it is to put an object, any object. So you're actually shading the surface. Obviously this is like a quick style, but you would do it all across, right, the surface. But you basically create a channel where the air can flow through, right? Like, and again, this is not a good way to like illustrate, but here, something like this. So you're still covering. There's some distance between the top, right? And there's airflow at the same time. There's like shade. So Daiso, I don't know. Daiso is your best friend when it comes to medakas. Daiso started back in 1972, so it's 50 years old now, and it's been a good friend of myself, a lot of Japanese, and here in the U.S. as well. Daiso's in Canada as well. So let me just take a real quick sip. Oh yeah, there is no real topic today. Let me just grab. There's one other thing. Let me just grab my tomo. Tomo is basically a net. Tomo. Awesome stuff. When is the green water too green? Can it harm them? I thought they were like super fantastic. So what is green water? Green water is basically, the green in the water is phytoplanktons, which is basically plants, right? So especially when you have Hariko, they need to eat every day. Of course every day, but every moment of their life. They don't have a stomach, per se. They can't store the energy, right? Because it passes through their system. And so you're not at home feeding them all day long. So what do? You basically rely on the water. And when you have green water, it provides them with natural food, plants. There's spice, like there's a bunch of microorganisms in the water if you keep them outdoors. But green water gives them the phytoplanktons, which makes the water green. Green water is awesome, but when does it become dangerous? Especially during the warmer seasons. When you think about it, plants, right? They breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. During the day, they're breathing out oxygen. But when nighttime calls, let me take a real quick sip. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but oh boy. Oh yeah. When nighttime comes, they're breathing in oxygen because they're plants. And they're breathing out CO2. Now fishes, medakas, they need oxygen in the water. So when you have green water that is too thick, too dark, too green, when you have too much vegetation, phytoplanktons in the water, at nighttime, they're consuming all the oxygen away from the fish, the medaka, the Hariko. So a lot of people say during the summer, they wake up in the morning and they go out and they observe their medakas. And they do see some that are gone. Stairway to Heaven style, they're gone. And it's because the oxygen level, the oxygenation level in the water has depleted. So, did I answer the question that I was asked? Because it's like, how much green water is too bad? So here, let me try to illustrate. All right, obviously this is pretty clear water, right? You don't have to worry about that. This side is a little more green, but I didn't have any of this set up properly. Best way to do it is you have a white container. All right, so this right here, this is all clear water. So let me try to grab another example. Pretty sure. All right, that's a good example right here, I think. All right. So what you see down below, that's just, I just hosed in that water today. So, all right, two examples right here. This is like green tea. This over here, on the other hand, is like matcha tea. A little darker. Is this too dark? To me, it's not. I don't have to do any water changes. This is a little darker, but I don't have to do any water changes. So once it goes, especially when you have it in a black container, it looks like really, really, really dark, but in the next 5 days, I'll probably do a water change. Let me check the one next door. By the way, so Daiso clip right here. And Daiso. This is all Daiso right here. This is Costco, and Costco's bin has this thing right here. It's like a 27 gallon for 10 bucks I got. This actually works as a lock. I didn't really realize until I started doing this. So if you have predators, you can put a lock here, that lock here, and it's like completely like shielded and all that stuff. And again, Daiso 1972. Let's see if this water is any darker. That's like green tea. It's nothing to be really worried about. So I wish I had an example. Let me move over here. Let me see if I have another example over here. No. So I don't have an example of green water that is too dark, but hopefully that is I am the worst, like, just go by the flow. I don't have anything that's too dark. But what's that green tea color? It's so good. You'll know when it gets too dark. You'll start smelling it, and oh, here's one thing. The ram's horns will tell you. See these guys over here? The ram's horn snails have a symbiotic relationship. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but symbiotic relationship where the Medaka is, again, they don't have stomachs, so they eat within 2 hours, they're going to poop out the food. In their poop, there's like tons of nutrients left. And they drop to the bottom of the tub or your tank. And this is where their best friend right here, ram's horns, they come and play. They eat that stuff. They consume the poop because there's so much nutrients. The other thing, the other reason why a lot of people keep ram's horn with Medaka is because if there is something wrong with the water parameter, they will tend to climb up all the way to the surface. So you don't see it in this, but you'll see a bunch like just lined up all the way to the top. They're trying to escape the water, but they need the water to survive, so they'll come all the way up to the rim. So when you start seeing a lot of the ram's horns all stuck along the top, that is a good indication that there's something not in balance with water. It may not be the green, it may not be anything that you could see visually, but there's something that's not in balance with nature and all that stuff. So that is another reason why, again, a couple of the essentials that I have when you do have a outdoor tub for Medakas in this case. So you have water, ram's horn, and I do keep some plants just because this is life, man. And that's life into water, right? So, and again, everything that I have in here, I was, again, 3 years ago when I started using this stuff, I wasn't sure if it was going to kill something that will ultimately harm or the growth of the Medakas, and this thing's been, I don't know, I don't see any differences. Meaning I don't see any harms, and this thing is awesome. Obviously at this size you won't need it because they'll eat all the mosquito larvae, but when you have little fry like this, the Harikos, man, those mosquito larvae will outgrow these and they will start attacking them. Never see them visually, but they do. Definitely the population will decrease when you have tons of larvae. You have like a couple hundred, I mean, it'll be filled. I mean, this bucket would be full of mosquitoes. Mosquito larvae. One more question that I could answer here while I'm here is, you see the little suckers? The little fry. See this large one over here? They're the same age, basically. This larger one over here, in Japanese, they're called Tobiko. What is Tobiko? Tobiko means the jumping dude. The jumping dude, it's one that just like overgrew. It's just, for some reason, super healthy, super active, ate all the food, and it just outgrew the others by 5 times the size. The question that I did receive was like, what do you do with them? Like, there's another big one right here, right in the center right here compared to the other. What do you do? Is it safe to keep them indoors, inside with all the other small Harikos? It's not safe, man. This guy is going to pick on the other ones and injure the other ones, or end up eating the other ones. Remember, medakas do not have stomachs. They have to constantly consume, and it could be their own. So when you see anything, when you see the Tobiko, you want to scoop them out and then transfer them to another container. When you transfer them, this is a tumble, all right? Whenever you use something like this, it harms them. At this size, it could be to the point where you're actually harming their skeletal system, their bone. So you always want to scoop them out somehow. So you want to get like a spoon or something like that. I don't know if I could do this right now, but should I be doing this right now? Under the influence. All right. Should be scooping them out. All right, I'm putting this one in this bucket because this bucket has larger fry. These guys are born earlier. And I know there's a larger one in there. It's probably all the way down there, so I'll deal with later. It's probably hard to do. I know it's hard to do with one hand. Maybe I'll try. All right. All right, so maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do it later when I have two hands. It's again, like everything I do, it's like it's hard to do with an iPhone in one hand, a beer in the other, and then you're left with the third hand to try to figure out if you could scoop up. So I will do it later. But again, that one right there will end up harming the other Harikos. Okay? So when you have ones that are just like over the top, you want to move them into another container that has a like-sized medakas. Let me just take a real quick sip. All right, so I think the most important thing today a band that I came across happens to be a Japanese girls band, NEMOPHILA. The track is Life. I'll leave a link below so you guys could check it out. Freaking awesome. In a lot of ways. So, MedakaMetal, thank you for tuning in. Medakatsu. Medakatsu is whenever you are doing anything about Medaka. Thinking about Medaka, living Medaka. I'm taking care of Medaka. And we'll do it again next time. So, kanpai chin chin chayo. Alright. Oppai. Thank you, Daiso.